Live from Studio 1396, Columbus, Ohio, broadcasting over 100,000 watts of all-American electricity, this is the Late Lap. And folks, we start with round two, a little bit of the same old story, the same one you've been hearing all weekend. It's the one that we just can't seem to get away from. And no, this is not deja vu, it's a continuation of what we talked about on Sunday night. On the Late Lap just 3 nights ago, we walked you through the stunning revelation that Team Penske, yes, that Team Penske, was caught violating technical regulations in their own rulebook. Roger Penske, Ohioan, billionaire, businessman, he was overlooking everything, the sport, the track. Well, they were all caught violating technical regulations during the Fast 12 qualifying session at the Indianapolis 500. We detailed how reigning Indy 500 champion Joseph Newgarden and teammate Will Power were penalized and sent to the back of the grid for the biggest race of the year. Tonight, that story just detonated. A second time. Roger Penske himself has now spoken, and not through a lawyer, not in a press release. No, this was a face-to-face sit-down. It was an interview with Fox Sports' Jamie Little. And what he said, it wasn't a dodge. It wasn't a redirect. It wasn't even damage control. It was accountability. 3 top brass at Team Penske are gone. Tim Cindric, the brain behind Penske's race day chessboard. Ron Ruzewski, IndyCar managing director, and Kyle Moyer, a general manager with decades in the sport, all dismissed in a single day. Roger Penske called it, quote, an organizational failure. Not once, but twice. And if you're keeping score at home, yes, that's a rare public admission of internal collapse from one of the most polished organizations in racing history. Now, before we throw all those rose petals at Penske's feet for admitting fault, let's not forget, this is the second year in a row that something like this has happened. And while Roger insists he's not in the pit box, not in race control, not part of inspections, it's impossible to ignore, as he so elegantly called it, the optics. Because when you own the series, own the racetrack, own the team, and the officiating body that penalizes your own cars, technically that works under your corporate umbrella, well, it's less conflict of interest and more conflict of everything. To Penske's credit, it's a man that we've always loved here at the Late Lap. And he addressed everything. He acknowledged the poor optics. He said that he's exploring ideas far greater. He's exploring the independence of inspection and officiating, and that they've been internally discussing creating a more separate body for rule enforcement. Let's be honest, that should have happened when he bought the series, not when the second scandal hits his team. He also confirmed that what we feared and expected, Newgarden and Power will still race on Sunday. Their times were invalidated, their positions were revoked, but they're not disqualified. Let's be clear, that's not surprising. Joseph Newgarden is the 2-time defending champion. He's box office. He's the poster boy. And Power, he's a fan favorite and a series legend. Pulling both from the grid would have been nuclear. But for a sport that's already under the microscope, this compromise is going to keep the critics talking. Let's not forget what the violation was actually about. Penske explained that the offending parts, modified attenuators, were created by Dallara, circulated through cars since early 2024, and even used during last year's race, where Newgarden won. He says that car passed post-race inspection in 24. Cool. But if they were illegal this year, then either the rulebook changed or last year's inspection missed something. Either way, not a good look. And that's the larger point, folks. The integrity of the rulebook must be sacred. This is not a fender bender at a Friday night short track. This is gold. This is the Indianapolis 500. The world is watching. The margin between first and irrelevant is measured in thousandths of a second. If fans think the playing field isn't level, or worse, that the rulebook flexes for billionaires, the whole house of cards falls apart. Roger Penske knows that. That's why he said, quote, "It hurts me in my gut. I think we let people down." And for once, many fans believe him, and I always have. This isn't a man mailing in excuses. This is a legacy builder watching a crack form in his monument. So where does this go now? The Indy 500 still runs this Sunday. Fox has the coverage. Imagine being Fox right now. You've put all of the fanfare you have and all of the marketing dollar right into this event, the kickoff of Indy season and the Indy 500. Doesn't look good for them either. Newgarden and Power will start at the rear, aiming to pull a Cinderella story out of a scandal. Penske has promised reform, but promises mean nothing unless they're backed with transparency. So, yes, we brought you this story Sunday, but tonight we bring you the fallout, the dismissals, the admissions, the moment when even the mighty Roger Penske couldn't steer around the consequences. This isn't just a scandal. This is a stress test for a sport that is on the rise, but still fragile. This is a reminder that even empires need accountability. And this Sunday, with the world watching, the redemption drive begins. This one, folks, it's more than wild. And if you'll pardon me as I just try to tune in here to any potential fans, this one is intense. This one is crazy. This one hurts. And it's because we love Roger or we hate him. He's bigger than any of us. He's bigger than NASCAR. He's bigger than IndyCar. He's Roger Penske. You can't drive 5 miles without seeing a Penske truck. He's larger than life. This one hurts. But sometimes that's the game. Roger Penske, IndyCar, the Indy 500, live on Fox this coming week. Well, folks, the majority of our audience does like the high-quality, high-energy drag racing stories from time to time. And tonight, in a world where nitro dreams are measured in milliseconds, Julie Natas just made a big one come true. The 2023 Top Alcohol Dragster World Champ has officially earned her Nitro Funny Car license. And this isn't just a paperwork milestone. This is a high-horsepower, flame-throwing rite of passage. She completed the final licensing runs at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, where legends test and careers launch. Apparently all of the big news is happening in Indy. Julie's journey started months ago in Gainesville, where a slipped helmet on day one could have thrown off anyone, but she adapted. Borrowed helmets from J.R. Todd and Antron Brown, clocked a 394 at 319 mile an hour on day 2, and stayed locked in all the way through Phoenix and back to Indy. She faced tire shake, clipped timing blocks, dealt with rain, and even some self-doubt. But she never bailed on the process. She kept digging. And when the moment came, a clean 396 at 315 mile an hour, straight down the groove, with Blake Alexander, Austin Prock, and Del Worsham, her team boss, all there to sign off on history. Natas now joins one of the most elite and exclusive lists in drag racing, Women Nitro Funny Car Drivers. That list, still small, still powerful, and now proudly one name longer. She's not locked into a ride just yet, still seeking funding. But if there's any justice in the sport, she'll be at the line in elimination soon. And when she is, let this moment remind you, Julie Natas didn't luck into the seat, she earned it. Congrats, Julie. The license is official. The path is paved. Go light it up. Welcome to Prime NASCAR. NASCAR and Amazon joining hands. Start your engines and your smart TVs because NASCAR is shifting into a brand new gear. And no, this isn't a broadcast change. This is a broadcast revolution. Prime Video is now the exclusive home for 5 NASCAR Cup Series races and a whole slate of first-half qualifying and practice sessions starting this year. Trust me, this isn't the same race on a new channel. This is a complete reinventing of NASCAR viewing experience. Let's talk about what you're going to get this coming Sunday for the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. Nashville under the lights. High Speed at Michigan, an international debut at Mexico City, and the Tricky Triangle at Pocono. Those 5 races all streaming exclusively on Prime. But it doesn't stop there. You're getting practice and qualifying every week. First half of the season we've covered, live, streamable, available anywhere you can open Prime Video, which, by the way, is over 650 devices. Fire TV? You got it. Smart TVs, easy. Phone, tablet, game console, done. And Prime isn't just dumping a camera on the track and calling it a day. They're bringing the heat. Over 70 cameras per race, including drone angles, in-car audio, pit box cameras, Dolby Vision, surround sound, and ultra-low latency streams that are so fast, they make cable look like dial-up. And commercials? They're double-boxed. No more missing green flag action ever. You'll never again come back from break wondering who the hell wrecked and why the leaderboard exploded. Check out their lineup. You've probably heard it's an all-star team. Adam Alexander calling the action, and former NBC colleagues Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Letarte breaking it down in the booth. Danielle Trotta will be your weekend host. Carl Edwards, yes, Backflip Carl, is on analysis, and Corey LaJoy, straight from the driver's seat to the studio. On pit reporting duties is Trevor Bayne, Marty Snyder, and Kim Kuhn. This is Hall of Fame horsepower in front of the camera. These aren't talking heads. They're race-bred experts who know the difference between tight and loose by feel, not flashcards. They're going to give you the stories, the drama, the intensity from pit lane all the way to checkered flag. Here's how you watch it. Open your Prime Video app, click NASCAR, pick the race, and boom, that's it. And if you're not a Prime member yet, here it is. There's a 30-day free trial waiting for you at amazon.com/prime. So seriously, no excuses. For the folks who can't catch every second live, Prime has you covered. There's a rapid recap, which is a 2-minute highlight package that gets you caught up instantly before jumping into the feed. Did you miss the start? No problem. Jump to every caution flag, end of the stage, and highlight. This is on-demand racing, just like in your dreams. This is more than a streaming deal. It's a full-throttle, tech-powered, fan-first approach to NASCAR broadcasting. Prime Video meeting the moment, and then some. With world-class tech, race day storytelling, and an all-star crew that gets it, this is the next evolution of the sport. Buckle up, race fans, because starting in 25, the green flag drops on Prime, it's going to feel like future just passed us on the outside. You know, every so often we talk about cars and what they do for us, and the car of the day, the Dodge, goes 4-door and full send. All right, look, I know I've teased Dodge a lot. I've clowned their throwback obsession, side-eyed their electric grunts, and maybe, just maybe, taken a few extra shots at Toyota while I was at it. But today, Dodge shut me up. Because the 2026 Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack sedan is absolutely the car of the day. 4 doors, 670 horsepower, all-wheel drive, an electric punch to the face in just 3.3 seconds. And all of it wrapped in that ludicrous blue, which looks like it came straight out of a Hot Wheels fantasy garage. Let's be honest, when most brands say electric sedan, we expect something sterile. A toaster on wheels. Not this. Not 670 horsepower with donut mode. Drag strip presets. A Fresonic exhaust that somehow makes me feel like it's a little real. and a one-pedal drive system with regen braking so tight it would shame a Tesla Model S. And oh yeah, it's still technically a muscle car. The only four-door muscle car on Earth. It's not a compromise, it's a declaration. Dodge said, what if we made the fastest, loudest, most unapologetically bold electric vehicle sedan out there and then gave it fender flares, a power shot button, and literally a donut mode? And you know what? They did it. The track pack, optional. The Brembos, big. The tires, wider than a Daytona buffet line. And every one of these Chargers comes with a day of high-performance driving school at Radford in Arizona, because Dodge knows full well this thing can bite. Now to the haters. And yes, I know you're already typing. I hear you. It's not a real muscle car if it's electric. Cool. But your 2020 Charger couldn't do 0 to 60 in 3.3. And it didn't come with a 38.5 cubic foot cargo space, HUD and 18 speakers, and a literal attitude adjustment button in the dash. That's not a joke. You don't have to like that it's electric, but you do have to respect that it's faster, smarter, sharper, and still unmistakably a Dodge. Don't forget, Dodge is still a heritage brand, 110 years deep. Ever heard of the Dodge brothers? It's alive in the wide body. It's alive in the interior stitching that calls back to 1968. And it's alive in a company bold enough to say, yeah, we're doing this. Full electric, full muscle, 4 doors, let's go. So yeah, I tease Dodge sometimes. I even give them and their other brands a hard time for not giving us a V8 Camry or something spicy of a Toyota. But today, I'm giving full flowers to the brand with donut mode. The Charger Daytona Scat Pack Sedan isn't just the car of the day, it's the shape of modern muscle, and it doesn't apologize to anyone for having 4 doors and 670 volts of attitude. We were also going to mention that Secretary Pete Heads... Our secretary will be the Grand Marshal for the Charlotte Coca-Cola 600. Somehow we've overlooked our script on that one. That's on me. No surprise, Synchrony and Discount Tire have extended their financing reach. Well. Would you look at that? I mean, really, would you look at it? It's kind of cute. Well, it's kind of cute. Synchrony and Discount Tire together again. And listen, no one's shocked. They've been doing this dance for over 25 fucking years. 2 bullshit companies working in lockstep, offering tire financing to millions of Americans through Synchrony Car Care Network. And on paper, it's a remarkable partnership. 1 card, over 1,000 stores, over 1 million eligible service locations. Sounds good, right? Let's not pretend this is all done out of kindness. Let's not ignore the fine print under the PR glow. They'll tell you it's about convenience and flexibility, about helping the average driver afford that $1,200 tire replacement that they didn't see coming. And sure, it does help people make big repairs in their finances, or does it? Here's the truth. These financing offers aren't there to help you at all. They're there to own you. Deferred interest, promotional periods, all sound great until you miss one payment and the full APR back charges hit like a brick wall. No annual fee, sure, but a quiet cycle of dependency. That's the real fee. Because this is how they get you. In the middle of a financial squeeze, they don't come in offering low prices. They come in offering more credit, not fewer obstacles, just more ways to carry debt. And for the middle class, especially right now, that's a wrapped trap and a convenience bow. The tires wear out, the car breaks down, you've got no savings because everything costs more, so now you're not just driving to work, you're driving a rolling finance charge. Synchrony knows how to scale. The tech works. The app's slick. You can even use your Discount Tire card with Apple Pay. Great. But none of this changes the core fact. Companies like Synchrony don't make billions by helping people out of debt. They make it by helping people stay in it comfortably. And Discount Tire, many of you probably have bought from them. They sell great products, but they're playing the long game. They don't need to raise prices if they can keep customers coming back, and just for tires. But terms too. So let's call it what it is, an efficient system built on necessity, dressed up as Western Coast finance. No surprise here, just another reminder that in modern America, financing isn't just an option, it's a business model. And while it may feel like freedom at the counter, it often comes with a bill that freedom cannot afford. A story that does matter. We talk a lot on this show about engines, performance, horsepower, even business. But today, let's pause for a brief moment to appreciate a good company doing something actually good and powerful off the racetrack. Valvoline, a name I have always respected, has teamed up with KVC Behavioral Healthcare Kentucky to help tackle one of the most important challenges in our community, youth suicide prevention. With a generous donation, Valvoline is funding suicide awareness training for 53 clinicians across the state, and they're investing even further, helping KVC train future trainers, building a support system that'll serve Kentucky families for years to come. Launched during Mental Health Awareness Month, this is also not a PR stunt. It's personal, it's needed, and it's exactly what corporate leadership should look like. I've been a fan of Valvoline for a long time. Stories like this only deepen that loyalty. When a company that's built their entire name on maintenance turns its focus to mental health, it reminds us it's not just cars that need care, people do too. So from this show, and from me personally, thank you, Valvoline. You're doing more than changing oil, you're changing lives. Another cool automotive story today, and I'm going to say it loud. I love this. I love when tech meets gearheads and their dreams. And Real Truck, they just dropped something that's about to blow the tailgate off the aftermarket industry. It's called the Real Truck Builder, a first of its kind, true to scale, fully interactive 3D visualization tool that lets you build your dream truck your way in real time. It's not the same old lazy configurator with clip art bumpers and blurry renders. No, you plug in your year, make, model, bed cap, even paint color, and boom! You're looking at your rig in glorious lifelike 3D. You want to add steps? You want to add a bed cover? A bumper? Done. Want to see it all in augmented reality parked in your driveway? They've got that too. Here's the kicker. Everything you're seeing, it's shoppable. You can mix and match gear, see what fits, save it, share it, just click it and buy it. It's seamless, it's smart, and it makes your dream build more real than ever. This is the kind of tool we've all been waiting for. It's not just fun, but it's functional. So if you're in the market, it's now your virtual garage, a design lab, and a checkout counter all rolled into one. Major props to Real Truck. This is innovation done right. As someone who eats, sleeps, and talks trucks, this is exactly the kind of stuff I get fired up about. And that will do it tonight for us here on Late Lap. If you've been on with us since the top of the show, you know this wasn't just another night of race recaps and rolling headlines. This was a night where all the layers of the sport and the people inside it really show. We opened with Roger Penske, a man synonymous with greatness in American racing, admitting failure, dismissing 3 top executives, and promising change. Whether you agree with his timing or not, that's not something we see every day. And it forces us to ask hard questions about integrity and competition, and who gets to hold the rulebook when they also hold the keys to the kingdom. Then we celebrated Julie Natas, calm, focused, fearless, now fully licensed in Nitro Funny Car. A quiet story to some, but to those of us who love the grind of drag racing, it's a huge deal. She didn't just qualify, she earned her stripes. And I can't wait to see her toe that line later this season. We spotlighted Valvoline and their partnership with KVC in Kentucky, giving suicide prevention training to dozens of clinicians in a time where help is often outpaced by need. And I'll just say this, I'll ride with Valvoline all day, not just because of what they put in the bottle, but because of what they're willing to put into people. We got into Dodge, and yeah, I've cracked plenty of jokes about muscle EVs and funny logos, but today I gave them their flowers. The new Charger Daytona 4-door is the real deal. Power, style, execution. They built it, and I'm a man enough to admit it, it's a stunner. And of course, we caught out the not-so-subtle trap that is Synchrony Discount Tires partnership. it's shiny, it's smart, and it's just another clever way to squeeze the middle class with more debt disguised as convenience. Let's not confuse excess with affordability. Just because you can swipe it doesn't mean you should. This show isn't just about hype, it's about clarity. It's about walking through the smoke to find the flag stand. It's about asking more from the people and companies that claim to represent us, and giving props when someone steps up and actually earns it. Tonight, I just want to say thank you for sticking with me, for thinking critically, and for loving the sport of the automobile with your eyes wide open. As I say at the end of every great show, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Smile, be happy, and until then, take care. And to our friends in the South, sea amable consigo mismo. Sea amable con otros. Sonría, sea feliz. Hasta entonces. Cuídese. Good night, everybody.
And I don't